The Nissan Leaf it's already the cheapest electric car you can buy in the United States. It's $29,000 US, but it qualifies for the $3,750 tax credit, meaning it's around $25,000 in America. Here in Australia, they start at 50,000 Australian dollars, so around 35,000 US dollars. That's too expensive. The price has just been reduced by 20,000 Australian dollars. $20,000 price reduction, making it actually a really good deal. I can't believe I'm saying this about a Nissan Leaf, but let's be honest. At this price, it's actually pretty damn spectacular. The question is, should you buy this car or should you buy the video I just did, right? Just an hour ago or a couple of hours ago. Another car that's got, well, the cheapest German-made car in Australia now, the Cooper Born. That's an amazing deal as well. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. As I've said earlier, I've got an Xpeng G6. Now, if I'd seen these deals, would I change my mind and buy a Nissan Leaf for this crazy price, a Cooper Born for the cheapest car, basically the cheapest priced German EV in Australia right now? Would I? No, of course not. I wouldn't. My car suits me perfectly. But if you don't have an EV, this is definitely worth having a look. Nissan Leaf price has been reduced by $20,000 in Australia. $20,000. That's crazy. Now, it's still not the cheapest EV in Australia, but it's pretty close. I mean, the MG4 price has gone back up to around $35,000, so the Nissan Leaf's about the same price as an MG4. Base model I'm talking about. But honestly, if you're looking at getting a Nissan Leaf, I wouldn't be getting the base model, I'd be looking at getting the longer range version. First of all, the pricing. The price has been reduced to $35,000 for the cheapest version. That's Australian dollars, so that's about 24,000 US dollars. So it's even cheaper here in Australia than what it costs in the United States now, which is kind of crazy. But the retail price, the driveway price was $51,000, right? It's now $35,000. So that's a $16,000 price discount for that version of the car. That's got a smaller battery pack, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now, the bigger battery pack version, it has a 59 kilowatt hour pack versus the cheaper version with a 39 kilowatt hour pack. That now costs $45,000. So $45,000, and that's drive away. So that includes all your taxes and fees. $45,000 drive away for a 59 kilowatt hour battery, which can do vehicle to grid, I've been told. Apparently you can. This is an amazing deal, guys. And that's the key reason why I said at the start of this video, would I consider buying this car? And maybe, $45,000 for a 59 kilowatt hour battery with vehicle to grid. Wow. Okay, so that's a discount of $20,000 versus the driveway pricing last week, which was $65,000. It's gone from $65,000 down to $45,000. I don't think many MG4s are going to be selling over the next 4 weeks, put it that way. So, which is the pick of the bunch? Well, for me, in my opinion, it's worth paying the extra $10,000 to get the long-range version of this car. I just think it's that much better because the $35,000 version has only 270 kilometers of range. Just not enough, in my opinion. Now, to get the longer range version, you're going to get 385 kilometers of range. So 270 kilometers for $35,000 drive away, or $45,000 drive away for 385 kilometers. Now, other than that, weirdly, the Nissan Leaf still has a CHAdeMO port, CHAdeMO, CHAdeMO port. It doesn't have most cars have a different type of charging port, but you can get an adapter, so it's not the end of the world. Charging speed is really, really slow in the entry-level version. That's another reason I wouldn't be buying it personally. 50 kilowatt DC charging, I wouldn't have the patience for that. The longer range version has 100 kilowatt DC charging, which is not too bad. Now, most new charging spots here in Australia, most of them outside of Australia and Europe, don't use CHAdeMO plugs anymore. So that's an issue. And like I said, you will need an adapter to be able to use those kinds of plugs. Getting back to the big feature though here. Now, Riz mentions this in his article on The Driven, and I totally agree with him here. This is a really cool feature. He says the Nissan Leaf does offer vehicle to grid capability, so at this price, it could be attractive to those attracted by that technology. Now, that makes total sense. Vehicle to grid, 60 kilowatt hour battery, you're basically getting the equivalent of more than 4 Tesla Powerwalls for $45,000 and a car you can drive around. So it's kind of a no-brainer if you think about it in that sense. I would probably do this, consider buying it just for the purposes of having it as a battery and occasionally driving it. But I have some batteries going to be installed here soon, so it's already done. It's already signed. That contract's already signed. So yeah, for me, it's not worth doing. But for you guys, it might be. Power in the base model is 110 kilowatt motor. It does 0 to 107.9 seconds. So it's not really fast, but it's not too bad. It's got about 140 horsepower. The E Plus variant, the long range variant, it has a 160 kilowatt motor, and that means it can do 0 to 100 in, I believe, about just under 7 seconds. Fuel consumption is 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers of driving. Now, one of the really cool features about the Nissan Leaf that not many cars have is a feature that Tesla vehicles have, and that is one pedal driving. I've never driven a BYD with it. Maybe they have it, but I've never driven a BYD that has that feature. And I think all EVs should have this. The Xpeng G6, they are going to bring that feature out. It nearly does it, not quite. It still has a bit of a creep. So I think Xpeng are planning on bringing that out. It'll be a software update. But one pedal driving means you can simply drive with your accelerator and just use regen to brake completely. So you don't have to use your brake ever. And to me, that's a big advantage. I'm a big fan of that. Now, the only question here is, would you go to Cupra Born instead? The Cupra Born is only $2,000 more. It's got a much bigger battery. It's an 82 kilowatt hour battery. It's got faster charging speed. It's got a bit more power. It's definitely much more luxurious, but it doesn't have vehicle to grid. And yeah, I mean, for some people, that would be the feature that would probably get you over the line. So guys, what do you think about the Nissan Leaf at this price? Do you think it's a good deal? As you guys know, I've mocked the Nissan Leaf. It was way too expensive. At this price though, it is honestly definitely a car you should have on your radar and you absolutely should be considering. The former boss of Nissan has warned of carnage once Honda takes over the company. And make no mistake, it's official now. Honda will take over Nissan. This is a bailout. The media are starting to finally report the truth behind this. It's not some sort of ridiculous, let's get together and be friends, let's be buddies here. Actually, the new director of this company, the Mitsubishi, Honda, and Nissan Alliance, will be from Honda. So yeah, there's that. So will the executives. They'll also be from Honda. However, Nissan's former boss says that this is a disaster and cost-cutting measures will simply drive the companies into the ground. A tie-up between Honda, Nissan, and Mitsubishi has the potential to shake up not just the Japanese automotive industry, but the global hierarchy of car makers as well. When these three car companies join together, which will happen in about a year's time, technically they will be the third largest automaker in the world. That's assuming that they don't lose more sales this year, which would mean that they might not be the third largest automaker in the world because, as you know, sales at Nissan, Honda, and Mitsubishi have all fallen drastically in China to the point where Mitsubishi has actually just left China completely. They have factories there. There's nothing in them. It is full of dust and probably old car parts and stuff. But I suspect that Nissan and eventually Honda will leave China as well, which is going to cut their sales by millions every year.